Imagine waking up in your new home, only to find your neighbor has been secretly siphoning your water for years. Now imagine turning a single valve and watching his entire life collapse overnight. That's what happened to me. And trust me, it was glorious. If you've ever dealt with a leeching neighbor, a sneaky freeloader, or someone who thought they could walk all over you, smash that like button. This revenge was subtle, legal, and absolutely devastating. Let's dive in. I live in Asia. And just recently, I did something that should have been the start of a peaceful new chapter. I bought a house. The previous owners were old family friends who needed cash fast. They hadn't even lived in the country for 3 years, so they gave me a fantastic deal. A fixer-upper in the middle of the capital city. Sounds like a win, right? Well, the house came with a few issues. Renovations were left half done. The front door had only a padlock. And there was no gate, meaning anyone could just stroll in like they owned the place. On day 1, I pulled into my driveway and found some stranger's motorbike parked inside my garage. Welcome home. I moved it out onto the street, had a proper gate installed the same day, and not long after, some furious guy showed up banging on my gate. I ignored him. He gave up after 15 minutes and left with his bike. That's when I realized, this neighborhood might not be so great. Weeks passed. I was settling in, dealing with minor annoyances, like random people still thinking the house was abandoned and parking in front of my gate. A no parking sign fixed that. Then, one evening in the shower, I noticed something odd. The water pressure was off. Now in my country, we rely on water pumps to push water from the city supply up to rooftop tanks, especially in multi-story homes. That evening, I heard the hum of a pump from next door, my neighbor's place. And it sparked a suspicion. See, this guy, let's call him Miser Max, lives in a 3-story home. He stays on the first floor and rents out the other 2. When I bought the house, I'd heard through the grapevine that he hated the idea of it being sold. My friends warned me, said he was territorial, bitter, and nosy. Still, I'm a 6-foot guy with 3 dogs. I wasn't exactly worried, but that water pressure nagged at me. I waited until I heard his pump shut off, then tested my taps. Full pressure again. Coincidence? Maybe. But my instinct said otherwise. I started thinking back. Over the past 3 years, when the house was empty, the water bills had stayed weirdly high. Everyone blamed leaks in the pipes, but it never fully made sense. And then it clicked. That old creep must have rigged something, siphoning water off my property while it sat unoccupied, saving himself money, while the bills were silently stacking up in my friends' names. The more I thought about it, the angrier I got. It wasn't about the money. Water here is dirt cheap. Even with 3 dogs, a weekly car wash, and a garden, I only pay around $5 a month. But it was the principle, the entitlement, the smugness of thinking he could use someone else's resources and just get away with it. I needed to hit back. But not with violence. Not with a confrontation. I had a better idea. One that required nothing more than patience. So on Monday I waited. I heard his pump kick on, and that was my cue. I turned off my water supply at the mains. That's it. No tools. No trespassing. Just a single twist. Now, here's the fun part. When his rooftop tank didn't fill, his ball valve stayed open. The pump kept running, and running, and running. What he didn't realize was that his outdated wiring, straight from the 90s, couldn't handle that kind of continuous draw. If he'd ever upgraded, maybe things would have gone differently. But at 3:00 a.m., karma struck. I woke up to shouting, angry voices coming from next door. Turns out, the overloaded wiring fried. His house had no power. And with the pump burned out too, no water. His tenants, furious. In my country, landlords are legally obligated to provide water and electricity. These aren't just minor inconveniences, they're essential services. And failure to provide them, grounds for legal action. Within days, 1 tenant moved out. Both filed police complaints. And guess what? The police fined him $500. A huge amount here. He also had to return both tenants' security deposits. On top of that, he couldn't legally rent out again until he fixed the electrical and water systems. Another pile of expenses. The man was ruined. He came to my gate a few days later. Asked deadpan, "Did you turn off your water?" Smiled. Calmly replied, "Yeah, had a new leak in the tank. I turned it off till the plumber came." His face was unreadable. But I could see it, the gears turning. The regret. The bitterness. He just nodded and walked away. That was the last time he tried anything. This Sunday, he's moving out to live with his daughter. Can't afford to live alone anymore. And me. I'm hiring a plumber next week to rip out every pipe that leaves my property. Just in case. In the end, all I did was twist a valve. No yelling. No threats. Just a little pressure. In the right place. And this leech, this entitled old miser, lost everything. His home. His tenants. His pride. He thought I'd be easy to exploit. Just another clueless newcomer. But he underestimated me. And that was his downfall. Some people think they're untouchable, that they can keep taking and no one will stop them. But sometimes, justice comes quietly, with no warning, and no mercy, just a twist of fate, and the sound of a pump that never stops. If this revenge story made you grin even a little, hit that like button and drop a comment below. Ever caught someone stealing from you? What did you do? And don't forget, subscribe for more real stories of sweet, sweet justice. Until next time, stay sharp.